Saint-Germain are reportedly fuming after being dealt a blow in their Champions League semi-final showdown with Arsenal, as the number of away fans allowed into the Emirates Stadium has been slashed. In a dramatic turn of events, the Parisian Giants have lodged an official complaint with UEFA, claiming that the decision to reduce the visiting allocation from 3,000 to 2,500 is unfair and goes against the regulations set by European football's governing body. The anticipation is building ahead of what promises to be an electric first-leg encounter between PSG and Arsenal, which will take place in North London on Tuesday night. Both clubs are vying for a coveted spot in the final, and while the Gunners emerged with a 2-0 win in their earlier meeting this season, there's a renewed sense of optimism around PSG. With the likes of Ousmane in scintillating form, Luis Enrique's side is breathing fire, hoping to cause an upset against a club that has looked almost invincible at times. But the build-up to this high-stakes match has been clouded by controversy surrounding the away fans' allocation. Earlier this season, PSG had been granted 3,000 tickets for their away day to London. However, that number has now been reduced to 2,500 for the semi-final, dipping below the 5% of the Emirates Stadium's total capacity, a regulation that UEFA mandates for all away fan allocations in Champions League matches. So what prompted this change? According to reports, the Metropolitan Police have intervened and cited safety concerns as the reason behind the reduction. Their apprehension stems from the rowdy atmosphere during PSG's last visit to London, when several seats inside the Emirates were broken by visiting fans. The tension between the two sides is well known, and the authorities have seemingly decided that limiting the number of PSG supporters inside the stadium will help to maintain control. RMC Sport has reported that PSG were quick to react, lodging an official complaint with UEFA over the reduction in ticket numbers. However, despite the complaints, the 2,500 ticket allocation remains unchanged, and PSG's hopes of reversing the decision have so far been unsuccessful. Sources close to the club claim that PSG officials made several attempts to engage with local authorities in London to discuss a possible resolution, but those discussions ultimately proved to be futile. The timing of the decision has left PSG officials particularly frustrated. According to reports, Arsenal were initially open to the idea of allowing 3,000 tickets to be sold, but the intervention of the Metropolitan Police nipped that in the bud. Now, with just days to go until the match, PSG are left to digest this setback while knowing that they will be denied full support in what is already a highly charged atmosphere. The situation is compounded by the fact that Arsenal, in a move that many perceive as a form of retaliation, have been handed a significantly reduced allocation for their upcoming trip to Paris next week. While PSG are allowed to offer just 4.1% of the Parc des Princes capacity to Arsenal fans, this figure still falls short of UEFA's 5% requirement. It's a scenario that is sure to escalate tensions, particularly with the growing concern that this kind of treatment could become more common in future clashes between English clubs and PSG, especially with the new Champions League format, set to bring the two sides together on a more regular basis. This reduction in ticket allocations has not gone unnoticed by the Arsenal Supporters Trust, who have called for the Gunners to lodge their own complaint with UEFA. The AST's Tim Payton made it clear that the situation is unfair to both sets of supporters and that something needs to be done to address the issue. Speaking to The Guardian, Payton said, "It's not fair that every club that plays a Champions League game in Paris has fewer tickets for their supporters. We don't expect it will make much difference for next week's second leg. But the new format means that English clubs are going to be playing PSG more regularly over the next few years, so something needs to change." The debate over away fan allocations is a contentious one, with both sides of the argument offering valid points. On one hand, the safety of supporters must always be a priority, and there's no denying that clashes between highly charged fan bases can occasionally spill over into violence or chaos. However, the notion that these decisions are being made arbitrarily or with too much influence from local police forces has raised alarm bells among many fans. PSG's response is a clear indication that the issue is far from resolved, and it's one that could have long-lasting implications for future Champions League fixtures. For now, all eyes will be on the pitch as PSG and Arsenal prepare to do battle in what promises to be a thrilling first leg encounter. Despite the controversy off the field, there's no